and welcome to another Manfred Mentors episode. Working on Trino Gateway today again. Been video editing all day, so I need to look at some code has it changed. So let's go. Today I'm going to work on Trino Gateway, and we had a Trino Gateway developer meeting earlier this week, and we want to get ready for a release. One of the things we want to get going is this PR from, I don't know whose that is, from Yeven Utienpin. We want to get this PR in, and it's already approved, but we probably want to update that as Mateusz has commented. So I'm going to show you what I can do about doing that. Because I'm a maintainer, I should have access to take this code and get it into my local repository, my local checkout here. So this is my local checkout. I just ran a build. Everything is fine. I was able to get this branch. So now I can fire up and perform this change. This is in the pom.xml in the top level definition where we define the dependency. So I'll just fire this up here. Don't need this here. Let's see what we got here. This is from last time when we worked on the roles page. Now we are looking at Trino Gateway. Is our parent POM, and there is Jetty, and we want this to be 4. Git log. So here's the commit from him. That's all from Zscaler. All looks good. Commit message is good. So git dot git commit minus amend. I'm gonna amend this git push minus f. Now here's the test. Typically, and this is like typically as a maintainer, I can push to the contributors branch, but in this case I can't. So I have 2 options. I can either merge this as it is and then do a follow-up commit, which is what I might do, because I already noticed when I look at this, this is 325, 372. If I look at the airlift, we got airlift is at 330. That's obviously a bit newer. And airlift, airbase, and airlift, which is our base framework. We look at that tags. That's at 381. Both of which are kind of like preparatory work for Java 25. So I want to kind of like get all of these things done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to review this. Good to go. I will merge and send follow up with Java 25 and further upgrades. So I'll put this in. We'll do that in follow-up PR, since I can't push to the branch. And want to do more work. Want to do more work anyway. But this is reasonable because this change on its own is also okay. So we'll remove and merge this. So now I can go git checkout main, git pull upstream main. Got this here, git push. So mine is correct. Now git checkout branch J25. Let's go move it to Java 25. Java 25 is the latest LTS fully supported release, and we are currently requiring Java 24. Which is totally fine, but Java 25 is an LTS that sort of feels better for some people. Ultimately, it's an open source project, so you want support, you can get that for any version from any vendor. So it doesn't really matter too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this next. Funny enough, look at that. That's pretty awesome. He gave me a heart emoji. It must mean that he's potentially even looking live. And I just noticed I'm just completely crazy. I haven't switched to sharing my screen. So I should do this. I'm making too many mistakes in this in this Manfred Mentors, but that's what it means to do live. So again, this is the pull request, and this is all live. Well, all right, let's continue. No way of going back. I've been video editing. It's a long day. So what I'm gonna do next is replicate this like recent PR from July from myself that upgraded to Java 24 to Java 25. And we can use this as a model. It's easy to do that way. So we will need to look at the Trino Gateway repository. We got a Java 25. I got my branch created. This is, by the way, the error message I got that I couldn't push to his branch, which is fine. Makes sense. It does make it a bit easier if I can push to it, but yeah, it's kind of also not as secure. Well, it means that it requires trust from whoever's contributing for me to push back. And this is always like forks and branches and stuff. There's always security risks with that. So fair enough if that was not enabled. So let's go and check our setup here. We can literally just make this a bit smaller so I can see the file. So I'm going to go CI, GitHub workflow in Trino Gateway. We'll go with Java 25. Yeah, it's for suggesting 21 and 17 here now as well. We're not going back to the old stuff, so no thank you. Go and look at what development. Fair enough, we go P development. This is just our built-in documentation. We say 25. Not sure why we're saying 25 plus. I mean, yeah, I guess it does work for 25 plus. So it's kind of okay, but whatever. This project requires, we're actually requiring it because our changes are potentially using language features and stuff like that. So we don't really want to say that you can use older stuff. It's not worth the hassle. So this is our development file. So I got this change basically done. I got this change basically done. Let's look at installation. This is all kind of obviously documentation can always need more love. There's lots of work that needs to be done or should be done in my opinion, but there's only so many hours in a day that I can contribute in others. So it is what it is. So installation is done. Now you see this .java version, it's kind of tricky. That's what's being picked up by the Docker file. So it's not that obvious, but that's why I'm looking at the old PR because it's kind of just easier. Oops. .java version in, not in, like, see, this is in Trino, but I'm looking at the one in Trino Gateway. And this is going to be 25 something, something, something. I don't know specifically what. And also, why was it 20? I guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check what's done in Trino because we want to be compatible probably. So, and there's always, no, just straight 25. Okay, we'll go with straight 25 then. Hopefully that doesn't have any negative effects on the Docker container selection stuff for that, but you know, that's what we run tests for. So we got that happening. We got that done. So the only other thing is in the pom.xml, we want to change all that. That might be also something where we sneak a bit and take a peek at what Trino is doing because we're a bit behind there. So Got 25, 24. Let's go pom.xml from Trino. Let's see. 2500, okay. And 25. It's doing that in the air. That's interesting. This is setting it in the error-prone compiler. Well, let's see what happens, right? Here.java.25.0.0. Let's follow with that along. Build target JDK 25. What's the modernizer it's using here? Let's look at modernizer. Modernizer is used to clean up. Oh, still modernizer 8. So, why is air.java.version here is 24 in Trino? This might be a bug in Trino. Or, well, let's run with that in here and see what happens, right? Like so, and then I also was gonna update that to 21.4, but that should be a separate commit. So let's do this for starters. Git s. These are all Java 25 changes. Git commit -am update to require Java 25 to update to use and require Java 25. Good enough error commit message for now. We can always do that later. Now, before I forget, git diff. Oops, that didn't save. Oh, yeah. Git s, git diff, git commit, update to JD, git push. We can go and put that here. Update to Java 25 and other modernizations. For now, I'm gonna set that to W work in progress. That's cool. TBD. Additional context is a follow-up to, well, I guess it's a follow-up to that one. Follow-up to, yeah, the release notes definitely needs to be done. And I can just look in the release notes and cheat rather than inventing what I'll write. Release notes, Java 24. Why did we even switch to Java 24? That's like weird. Breaking. Require, oh, we, okay. Should really be Java, not JDK use it in the container image, something like that. Let's do that as a suggested change. And maybe when I write the release notes, I'll actually update the wording on the other one. Get rid of the comments, create the pull request. That should actually run the build as well. But we can also, or we should also do this locally. Yes. This might also be worth looking. Oh, what are we? Detected Java 24. Oh, look at that. I'm actually not on Java 25, Java minus version. Look at that. Well, that means I have to upgrade Java 25 myself. So I don't know if I installed via Tamarin via brew in the past. Brew list. Java. Maybe not. Okay. Fascinating that I haven't updated yet. I'm pretty sure I did it on my other machine, but fascinating. Mac OS, that's what we need. Tamarin, Arch, artifacts. Oh, that was fast. Continue, yes, love it. Thank you. Oops. Well, whatever that was, it was very fast. There you go. I set a new one, and this is now set to that. So theoretically, Java minus version should now show 25. Boom, we are back in business, I hope. /maven clean install. That's why I love this. Hacking on the code now and then. It's very different from hacking on Blender and video editing and recording, which I've done the rest of the day, and making slides. So this is a good change. Seeing the command line fly past and bamboozling me, and hopefully you as well, and getting a cool pull request going. So let's see what's happening out of this. Yeah, that's another headache here. You see, this is the build for the front end. This is an old version of PNPM, and this is an old version of Node, and these dependencies are also old. So we should upgrade that though. But there's also lots of warnings here that we should also look at not having. So if anyone wants to contribute and help and has time, that would be super awesome. And in the meantime, it's on my backlog to do it myself eventually at some stage, or never, who knows. I'm not getting paid for this unless you sponsor me. But even then, I can just work at night and here and there on it. So we'll see. But the build is doing good so far. Nothing has complained majorly. So I think we might be in a good shape. I'm gonna request a review from these two guys, the original contributor, Yevhen, and from Mateusz, because he's the man. Mateusz knows dependencies and upgrades better than anyone I know, because he's done it a long time and he's gone really deep in things like Eclipse, Jetty, and that kind of stuff. It's a pleasure to work with him. And this build is taking its fair time, but so far so good. And we can also see what it's doing here, by the way. You see this is firing up the same thing on the GitHub infrastructure. It's downloading the Trino container at the moment, which is Trino latest, which just released 478 as well. So should talk about this in one of the next Trino contributor call. Oh no, in the Trino, what you call it, community broadcast. If someone joins me as a guest, or maybe I'll just do my episode on my own, talking about the releases. But we'll see about that. All right, this is just running, and this is running as well. If this runs, I mean, we could look at, so theoretically, if we go to airlift 381 and airbase what other updates did he do here? Okay, HTTP. This whole OK HTTP is something we want to eventually get rid of, actually, and just use the default HTTP, because OK HTTP is not that well maintained anymore, from what I understand. But yeah. I can resolve that. Huh. Did it finish? Oh, well, look at that. It finished. We are in business. So that worked. So should we try? Should we be ballsy and try that? I'd say why not? So we are good here. So airlift 381. So airlift is sort of the base framework, and that like provides infrastructure like REST API support, JSON parsing, logging, OpenTelemetry support, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know where we're setting that on the top of my head. Maybe in the submodule, probably. It's probably just dep dot. Oh, there, airlift bomb. Okay. So it is in the top level POM. So let's see. That was a big jump for airbase there that he did. Let's see if we can get away with a smaller jump change for ours. So we're gonna go. That's done. So airlift 381. Airlift 381. Gotta do the naive way and just update the numbers. That's probably gonna not be good enough. Typically, there's always something else to do. 381. Oh, sorry, airlift and airbase. Airbase is like the base POM that defends plugins and all that kind of stuff. 330. The other thing I should check is if Mateusz already upgraded to Maven 4. Because if he's done that, then I should too. No, maybe what? That's only 389. Okay, well, that's old, so we don't have to worry about that for now, although it might be nice to upgrade. All right, it's worth a try, right? You see lots more newer dependencies are coming down again because new dependencies are, oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. This is going to be a bit more difficult. Oh, okay. Okay, so okay, HTTP 530 and then 532. So there's some enforced dependency conflict going on here that we'll have to look. That's going to be a bit more tricky. All right, so here was my hope that it's going to be a clean and easy one. But let's see what the Jersey dependency was here. He did an update for 530. Okay, let's try 532 and see if that helps. Oh, this is in the HA one. So this is in the submodule, POM. 532. This error message complained about 532. Like what this is basically saying, you're requiring something up here, but then a lower one wants to use a newer version, so we should update that. So let's see how much we're getting away with letting that up. Trino version is also pretty old. That should also be updated. Yeah, that's the upgrade hell. Nope. Oh, well, but we got processor. So now we just need Jersey 4.0. Where's Jersey even set? Jersey server. Wow. And that's in the base POM. Well, if we're getting away with that, Jersey. If we're getting away with that, I'll be like celebrating, because that's a big change from 3.1.11 to 4. But look, the dependencies are no longer angry at us. That's already a not terrible sign, let's just say. All right, let's see if this. If this works, I'm gonna push and let it simmer overnight and think about it some more and see if I can have some smart cooking up and like also see what I hear from the other guys. But this would be pretty sweet, getting this all updated. Honestly, I should look at all the other dependencies as well. I'm sure there's others. And as you know, well, or maybe not know, the Maven command line tooling for upgrading dependencies is pretty damn good. You can like let it show you with Maven dependency updates, and like with the Maven versions update, you can run a whole bunch of different commands that help with that. And you want to do that regularly, because the longer you fall behind, the more painful each individual, like the upgrades will get. At the same time, obviously, upgrading all the time is also work that needs to be done. And that's where Mateusz is like really good at. That's the only way to keep an application modern, by the way. Lots of people complain that it's a lot of work, but you want the new features, you want the bug fixes, you need to update. If you can't even update it on your own application, imagine how much work the open source maintainers have actually fixing the bugs, not just like changing a version on one thing. So you don't really get to complain if you're working on a commercial application and are too lazy to upgrade. We are doing this on an open source project here in Trino, and it's not easy. But I think we might be lucky today. Well, let's let it run a little bit more if this goes through. We can, in the meantime, check what other version we are here. So for example, like without firing up Maven now, because this is running in the, I don't want to mess up this build run, but we can still check, for example, Jetty. I could, for example, go Jetty. Let's see if there's even a newer version available. So I can go search.maven.org, for example, search.maven.org, which is the Maven Central Repository, Jetty Core. This is the old one. So we'll go Eclipse Jetty, maybe. Eclipse Jetty. Org Eclipse Jetty project. 18 days ago, 12.1.4. So this is the latest. That's pretty good, right? 18 days ago, pretty new. So what else could we log? Java 25, 8. JDBI bomb. Ooh. JDBI is our database interfacing thingy. 350, wow. Oh, that's not too bad. That could work. So that could work. Test containers, I'm sure that's the newer one available. I'm just gonna fire this all up. Test containers. Test containers, also 15 days ago. This is org test containers. Is this org test containers? 202. They have a 2.0 release. Oh, that might be interesting. Although I'm scared to think 2.0, did that break a lot? Oh yeah, they just changed to 2.0. 121.3. All right. I'm gonna keep that up on my tab here as well. Let's see if the build finished. Well, the build finished. This is pretty damn good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go git s, git diff. Should I do git commit -am update here? Maybe I should do let's do this a bit properly. Git commit update airbase and air lift and related. Let's go. Let's do it like that. Update airbase, airlift and related. That's what? Airbase to air lift to 381, 330. Cherry to 121? I've got 12.1.4. Jersey. Jersey to 4.0, which is kind of crazy. Git s, git log. Oh shit, that was wrong. Git commit minus amend. Messed up the commit message. This is wrong. Jersey. Oh no, that's right. We upgraded. What was it? The Jetty. Okay, HTTP is the other one. Five 5.3.2. Git push. Right. This PR has all this stuff in it now. Let's see. PR 802, 3 commits, do. Looks easy, but you still need to know what's going on with the dependencies to see what you upgrade where. Otherwise, you're just going to read error messages and go crazy. And luckily, I did not go crazy, but that might happen next time. And with that, I think that's it for today. I'm pretty happy with this PR. Hopefully Mateusz and Yevgen and others can look at that, and we'll get that in, and we'll get Java 25 in Trino Gateway. And I'll be doing some more hackery. As you saw, there's always more to do. But for me, tonight, it's over and out. Time to make some dinner and do some other things. Later, everyone.